Well, as it's a fresh week, I thought I'd start it off with not one, but two cab stories for you. So here goes. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing alright, I'm not too bad. Hope you've had a good weekend. Let me know in the comments below what you got up to and everything's alright in your world. Don't forget, we're on Discord if anyone wants to join in over there and have a chat with all the subscribers while you're waiting for a video from me. That's all good, we're over there. Well, let's have a look at these two stories, shall we? There was one that happened on Friday night, and then there's one that happened way back when I was still doing taxi driving on the circuit before I started my airport business. Well, this one, I want to send best wishes out to a taxi driver who was involved in an incident in Ramsgate on Friday night. Police were actually called out to that just after 11 o'clock at night. There's a kebab shop over in Ramsgate, and I know the location, know the place. Regular stop on the way home when you've been out on the... And unfortunately, this taxi driver was involved in an altercation with some people who attempted to rob him. Chaos ensued. The taxi driver ended up getting knifed. So far, I don't know how he is. Fingers crossed, one cab driver to another. I hope he's okay and makes a full recovery. Apparently, two people were arrested at the scene. One injured because of the knife. I mean, I've seen lots of police episodes that say when you go for somebody with a knife, you will inevitably injure yourself because of the violent busting motion. And the other one was injured because of a beating he received. I don't know whether that was the cab driver going down fighting or somebody else at the kebab shop. The police had a busy night that night because later on in a place called Harbour Street, further down the road from where this incident happened, 4 other people got involved in an altercation and there was some trouble there as well. So not a great night to be had for Ramsgate. And again, my best wishes to the taxi driver concerned, and I hope he makes a full recovery. Not an easy thing to experience, and it just shows you how dangerous this job can be sometimes. Another story, bit of a coincidence story from, well, 7 or 8 years ago now, I suppose. I was still working on the what we call the circuit, the local town, and it was about 11:30 at night, and I was looking for my last job before I went home. I was getting towards the end of a 12-hour shift, and I got a job through to pick somebody up from a place in Broadstairs, not far from me, and take them to Margate Hospital. I thought, well, okay, I can do that job, and then that will put me in a position where I can sign off and get home. I've made my target for the day. I picked the people up, of course, and start driving, and they said to me they needed to get to the local Pilgrim's Hospice, and I thought, this is a bit late. I wonder if they've had that phone call that everybody dreads. Now, I listened to the conversation, and it quickly became apparent to me that that is what happened. So I said to them, have you had that phone call? And they said yes, and my reply was, I'm ever so sorry. And they said there was a lady and a daughter in the car, and it was actually the elder lady, it was her husband in the hospice. When we got to the hospice, they asked me how much I owed them, and considering the circumstances, I thought, I can't charge them. So I said, right, this is the fare. What I want you to do is put the money in the charity box for the hospice inside. I don't want it. So we exchanged pleasantries and they got out. Now, this is the best bit. I went to see my dad 2 or 3 days later. We were having a conversation and I was telling him what happened. And my dad suddenly turned around and said, hang on a minute. He said, my friend passed away on that night in the local Pilgrim's Hospice, and his wife said about a kind taxi driver that refused to charge them for the fare. And then he looked at me knowingly. I said, yeah, Dad, it was me. How's that for a coincidence? You don't get that every day. So there's a horrific story, and one from the heart, finishing off with a bit of a coincidence as well. Let me know in the comments, and especially if you're a cab driver and you've got others to share, let me know. It's always good to hear stories from all over the place about this industry I've been a part of for a long, long time. Anyway, I'll see you with another one shortly. Toodaloo.